Welcome to your Daily Revolution podcast. Today's topic, when in doubt, throw it out. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
My name is Setema, Gali, the founder and creator of the Prosperity Revolution, a global movement that helps you to get out of scarcity and into prosperity every single day. A movement where people have value, things do not, where money is a result of helping people, where you're rewarded for creating value for others, and where prosperity is not the result of luck, but a predictable steps and formulas, and where happiness is the ultimate goal.
Great to be here with you today. I'm so honored and grateful that you're here listening to the podcast. So let's jump right in. It's been no surprise. We're making a move from SoCal to Florida. And, when you live in a home for 6 years, and my kids are now 14, 11, and 8, right? They've grown. And so we've accumulated a lot more stuff. Now, here's the crazy piece. First of all, this is the longest I've ever been in a home in my life. I've moved around so much as a child. I went to 5 different elementary schools. I went to 3 different junior highs. And then I finally finished in high school. So high school, when I lived with my mom, I lived there for 3 years. That's the longest I've ever lived in a home. The home before we moved to Southern Cal, 3 years. So it's like, you kind of accumulate some stuff. But now that I'm married and have 3 boys, and we've just kind of, you order stuff off of Amazon. We got boxing gloves and a punching bag. We got shoulder pads. We got bikes and cones and stuff that boys accumulate. And my boys have junk drawers. I'm like, my goodness. So, we're getting ready to move. And as we start to move, we go get a storage. And we start to pack things up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we just need to throw stuff away. Let's just make this move easy. So I think the rule they say is if you haven't touched it or used it in 6 months, throw it out, right? Get rid of it. So I go get a U-Haul from U-Haul, 15 foot. I'm like, this should be good. Probably one truck full. We fill 1 truck full to the top. It is packed, chuck full. We take it to the dump, and it's kind of liberating, right? We just throw stuff out. It was amazing. And then we come back and we start to load up another, U-Haul truck. And the second truck, chuck full. Where we got couches, we got bed frames, chairs, stools, just stuff, stuff that's in cupboards, stuff that's on shelves. And I started to think to myself, man, I'm like a hoarder. I don't think I'm a hoarder, but 6 years in a home, you just kind of accumulate. So we chucked this stuff away, right? And then I'm like, okay, we should be done. And then we continue to move things out of our home. Now, look, it's not a huge home, it's probably 4,000 square feet. So not big, not small, but just a good size. And then we take a third load to the dump. Chuck full. 3 truckloads, we just threw away. We don't need it. And it got me thinking, God, this is incredible. Because here we've been living in this home. We don't move out of our home. We just continue to accumulate, even clothes and shoes. We were dropping things off of the donation truck to give away. I've got 50 or 60 t-shirts that I was donate. Not crazy. 5 pairs of shoes that are still good, but I just never wear. Clothes and suit jackets and just stuff. And so I started to take a look at this lesson, where else in my life have I began to hoard and to accumulate stuff that I don't even use? And as I was throwing stuff out of the truck, it was liberating, right? There was this sense of freedom that I had because for 6 years, we just kind of stack stuff in the garage. And, thankfully, we don't have a storage unit. We do now because our plan is to come back to SoCal. But the lesson it was so clear to me. It was if you actually know, this is what I was saying to my wife. It's when in doubt, throw it out, right? When in doubt, throw it out. And if I had to stop and say, do I really need this? But. And if we hadn't used it in 6 months, it was bye. So if we run this across the big 4 pillars, right? Physical, spiritual, relational, financial. Physically, are there things inside of your physical world, the food that you eat, the clothes that you wear, the junk in your your car, like even in my truck, right? I got this big center console and there's just junk in here from 3 years ago when I bought my truck that I'm like, why do I carry this around? Like there's this comfort of holding on to stuff. So I'm like, get rid of it. When in doubt, throw it out. Even in my supplement up in the house, I've got supplements that expired in 2019, but I just stuff it in the cabinets, just stuff it in there instead of throwing it away. Spiritually, this is something that's near and dear to my heart, to be in spiritual alignment with your God, your faith, your purpose. If there's something in your life that is holding you back, get rid of it. Cut it out, throw it out. It reminds me of a story in the Bible where there's a rich young ruler who comes to Jesus. He's like, Master, I keep all the commandments. I do everything. I do it all. And Jesus said, one thing thou lackest, take all that you have, go sell it, right, and come follow me. And then the scripture says that the rich ruler walked away in sorrow because he could not let go. If there's something in your life spiritually that the voice has been telling you to do, to clean up, to get rid of, to get back into alignment, to get back on the path, do it. Relationally, are there things in your life today? Are there relationships that are holding you back? Is there something that's getting in the way of you and your spouse? Is there a hobby? Is there an activity? Is there something that's just cluttering and getting in the way of greater intimacy, greater sex, greater connection, greater communication with your spouse? How about your children? Is there something that you need to get rid of? For me, there were just apps on my phone that I'm like, why would I sit and look at my phone? So I've got limits on my social media. I deleted a lot of the things that I would just read because I just enjoyed it. And I said, look, when it's time for family, it's time for family. I don't want these things to get in the way. So the same thing for you. Take a look at your relationships. Are there some things that you just need to throw out, like get rid of, cut off, burn, cut, delete, like drop, so that you could have greater fulfillment and happiness inside of your marriage and family? And of course, financially, I 100% believe this, that in order to go up, you've got to be willing to give up. And some people are not willing to give up and get rid of and throw out the habits and the things that take your time and energy and money in order to be successful and in order to go to the next level. You really got to take a look at your life financially and say, are there habits? Are there spending habits? Do I have poor investing and savings habits? Am I really on track to have financial wealth and abundance? Or am I on the path of paycheck to paycheck, living beyond my means and being miserable and I get slammed when the market tumbles? When in doubt, throw it out, right? When in doubt, throw it out, get rid of. No wonder why people do spring cleaning. I've never done like a spring cleaning, but my goodness, you can bet that they monthly, we're like, hey, get rid of it. We don't need do we need that? Are you sure you need that? Because we ought to just throw it away. I don't want to be the people that just order storage bins and storage facilities and we just got stuff in there that we never use. Accumulation is not the goal of life. I'd say more than accumulation, it's utilization. Can we use all the things that we have to better our lives and the lives of other people? When in doubt, throw it out. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Take a look at your life. What's the lesson you got to take? What's the principle and the action you got to take? Go get rid of things today. Like stop hoarding, stop stuffing and stacking, stop storing, and be smart with all that you have. I love you. Go share this with someone who needs it, and I'm out.
This is your daily revolution. Live in prosperity, we show you how to do it. There's no luck about it, we got the strategic blueprint. This is your daily revolution. You already know. And if you don't, then check my resume. Turning pressure into possibilities every day. We all can win and live our unique purpose. We change our mindsets and put the work in. This is your daily revolution. Your daily revolution. Revolution. Your daily revolution podcast.